Welcome back to the channel. Thank you for everybody that's watched the first video. Summer has well and truly arrived in Spain and it is hot. There will be a small explanation of the heat in this next video to find out what's happened. Round 2, there is no clickbait to the title of the video. I was on court with world number ones, and at the end of this video we will talk more about that experience, what I did, how I got there, and the day in general in Valladolid, P1. Cutting to my challenge, 0.5 Playtomic challenge. If you haven't watched the first video, please go back and watch and you'll see the first 0.5 game that I played. I moved up to 0.8 and I'm now taking on a new challenge. Now since the last video, what has happened? So I have become a brand ambassador for a brand called Moonshot Padel right here. I have their I Coach racket, which is one of their beginner rackets, which is great for coaching full carbon, but the one I'm using actually is the GT2 Disruptor, and I will put a link down below. So the videos you see now on, I've got the black and purple racket. That is my favourite racket at the moment, and not just because I'm a brand ambassador, it's a fantastic racket, but I just thought I'd show you, so if you see the fingerprint, that's where it's come from. So anyway, game 2, 0.8. I joined an evening match in a club right next to the Santiago Bernabeu in central Madrid. My teammate was called Loren, and it was actually 3 friends that were French. Teammate just below level 1, I was 0.8, 2 guys on the other side 0.9, and I think another 0.8 player there. So we'll talk a bit more about that as the game goes on. And just a disclaimer of the heat. It was about, I think it was 9 p.m. and it was still about 36 degrees. So the camera decided midway through the second set to give up, and it was too hot. You've got the full first set, some of the second set. So let's talk about the game itself before we start, before you see the game and before the analysis post-match. I'll talk a little bit about how that went. So I went into the game reading the comments from the previous video on Instagram and on YouTube, and the consensus was that I should play to the level that my opponents are to make it so it's not a complete whitewash, and try and play to that level. In between the 2 videos I played a couple of games and played some game with somebody that I'll talk about later in the video, who is an absolute guru of paddle, and when I played with her, she told me that the way I play at full speed, I play with too much risk. My percentages are not as high as could be. So when I then played with her, she just said, soft in the middle, soft lobs, soft in the middle, soft lobs, the point will come to you. So that's why I tried to go into this game playing. I didn't want to go over the top again. I'd told the players about my level. My teammate wanted me to keep it a secret to like punk his mates, but we didn't do that in the end. So I tried to just play it consistent, slow, and see what came from it. And you'll see at the end, the result suggests the game was easier than the first one, but there was some challenges there. Without further ado, let's jump to the game. Enjoy.
So let's get into it. Me and Lauren high-fiving, and we're just having a little joke about my knee and that he wanted to punk his mates. So let's go for the first game. We're going to do things a little bit different today. You'll see this game is definitely a lot more lethargic, and the level, you see the first serve there is out. The level was definitely lower than the first game I played, and partially was because of my teammates' level. So as you can see already there, we've got one into the net. The rallies are really short, so I'm just going to use this to highlight some of the things I've noticed at this level, and some of them, including me hitting the lobs out. Some of the things I've noticed was a big thing in the last one, and definitely in this one, is positioning. So I've not included every point. I'm not going to count through every point. We won the game 6-1, 6 love. I don't even really remember how they got the 1, but as you can see from here, we tried to go with a different technique of just going slow and steady. So let's get in. What we'll do is we'll watch some, and I've got some of the most important and some of the most interesting rallies saved in. This is probably actually one of the longer rallies of the game here. And there we go. So there's that point over. High five. He kept trying to offer me the racket to high five, but no, we do not high five with rackets. So we just got the hand slap. So anyway, so you can see quite early on, we're straight up into this game, and there was just gaps already there, you can see, but it didn't even get to me. So we start cutting now, and let's go into the games, and we'll delve a little bit deeper into these. So the first game is done, wrapped up pretty quickly. I'm serving now for game 2. I was trying to remember why I kept this video in, and you can see, so the gaps are forming. They actually did quite well here to push the net, and then as the last game, one of the opportunities to do that, and early little flash of level there, so had to remember to try and roll it back. Didn't mean to do such a good shot there. Into the next one again. One of my tactics is just soft to the middle, soft to the side. That's kind of soft to the middle. That was a little test to see what they were like in dealing with off the glass. So boot 2 up now, and again we're just playing soft into the middle, soft lobs. I was trying to get my teammates to play the same, but as you can see now here, very important. In the first time I showed you the guy's head was because he called it out, so I remember here saying it was 100% in, so I was just going to do a small punishment, and that's that there, just to get the point for the next shot, because I like a friendly game, and this was competitive, but also I don't like when people, he was very adamant that it was out, and I wasn't going to argue. So we move into this game. You see that good shots in the middle there, but then look, the gaps that they're opening up. My teammate kind of came across there, but that's okay. And yeah, the whole left side of the court is free there. And he's recovered it well. But yeah, those shots, I mean, we can just finish those all day and just wait for the time. And I'm just soft there, could have popped that one straight out. Just behind the court there is actually the Real Madrid Stadium, which looks cool, look better in real life than it does on the camera here. Another one, movement, if you see, there's gaps forming all over the place. And we just take the easy point there. In this point here, it's the same as what I noticed in the last game. It's almost like a badminton style technique when you got one player up the front and one at the back. So like they had one player covering the lobs and one really close to the net, which as you see the same thing again here. So look, at the moment there's absolutely no cover of that side of the court. That was kind of too easy for me to let that one slip. So let's see where we go with this one here. And we're just going to go soft to the side, soft. But my teammate was almost trying to do the same thing, coming across to cover a few of mine. So I said to him, that's fine, my side is my side. But he knew about my knee injury, so I think he was giving me a little bit of credit for that. But yeah, we were just trying to play soft, and that is the one where the ball went up, my eyes lit up, and I thought, let's not go full power on this, and ended up just hitting into the net. One thing you also may have noticed is my teammate wanted to swap sides on the serve, so I was actually playing on both sides, which is not usual for a left-handed player, but it's actually quite good. Look at the gap again there, whole side of the court. Team should have gone for that, but we got away with it. Playing on the other side of the court is something I'm not used to, and I definitely want to play a little bit more of, because it definitely brought some challenges. A few times when I thought about going for a good shot, my backhand was there, or the angle of my backhands I need to work on, so there was help in that. This is another game, just some soft lobs, and it was a type of game where you just had to not make the mistake to win the point. Soft to the middle, takes the net, but then look, one back, one front, nearly hits his teammate. One back, one front, the whole side of that court is free. They're just constantly under pressure due to movement. I could have finished that one early, went down the line, but yeah, we could have just finished a lot of these points really early. So we kind of to the end of it, it was a bit of a lethargic game. It was really hot. We were just playing the slow game. This is the guy that said afterwards that he was desperate to try and win the points against me, so he tried to aim at me rather than putting me in the fridge. This game here is actually one of the better rallies of the match. Again, there's no intensity. I mean, my teammate's gone up there. From me, my intensity dropped, which I'm going to have to step up definitely as I get to the tougher matches. But I did have the opportunity, and I could get away with stuff like that. Like a padlock for me, I can get away with it. I would definitely get punished sooner than later with higher players. But yeah, this was just a kind of a tap around. Got the ball straight at him in the end. I'm coming towards the end now, and I think we were about 34 minutes, 2 sets, so it was really fast. Just a drop shot there. Just to use this game as more of an educational piece for beginner players and to work on positioning. You can see that it's just too easy to just leave the big gaps, not knowing that your teammate is behind you or you should be moving together as a team. If you don't move together as a team, you lose sight of where your teammate is, and those gaps appear. And I was trying not to always play into those gaps, but it was very tempting. I let him off that one there because that one was definitely going out, and what happens here is he thinks he's won the point, but it's still in play, and lucky for me, he's popped the man out the top. So that's the end of the game anyway.
Post-match, so score 6-1, 6-love. The score suggests a very one-sided game, and I suppose that it was. I was very aware from the warm-up of one of the weaker players on the opponent's team, and the big thing that I noticed, and you probably would have seen from there, is positioning. It was just, the game was handed on a plate to us because people were staying back, someone was going front, they were crossing over, so like the entire corners of the court were free. So even as much as I resisted to try and just keep playing through the players, sometimes the easiest option was to just play into space. Soft into space. I think there's 1 or 2 hard shots. There's a few that you can see there. There was a Bahada that kind of came up, and as I thought I was going through it, I thought maybe it's a bit early, so just pushed it, went into the net. So I wasn't holding back as much as I was in the first game, but I was just playing the safe shots, and the safe shots were enough in this game. We continued to play afterwards, and we swapped teams, and I played with one of the other players and decided to try and help him on positioning, and it just said, I said that with a few changes could really change your game. The smaller of the 2 players said afterwards that he has, not an issue, but he has a thing where if he plays against someone that he thinks is better than them, it's his mission to try and beat them rather than playing to my teammate. He decided to try and go for me to try and get the points and prove something to himself. So it didn't go too well for him. So anyway, that's that game. Let's get to the part where I talked about being on court with world number 1s. So on the Sunday, the 29th of June, I was invited by Green Set Courts, another link I'll put in the description. Green Set Courts supplied the court for the Valladolid P2 Premier Padel. And they invited me down to the final. It's about 2 hours from Madrid. So I went down there, and fantastic. I was hosted. Massive thank you to the team from Green Set there. I'll put some pictures and videos whilst I do this talking. So I arrived, got there, got my wristband, went in. It's in the Plaza Mayor, so it's just an iconic venue. I remember before I'd even really liked padel, seeing pictures of padel being played there. So that was fantastic to be there and to see. There's 2 games, the women played first. Bea Gonzalez and Claudia Fernandez lost to Ari and Paula, followed by then LeBron and Stupa versus Tapia and Cleo, with him being at his home again. So yeah, the result of that was again Tapia and Cleo won, and it was just a fantastic atmosphere, a really great day. And then to top it off, at the end of the day, the games finished, and as celebrations were happening, Belen, who I spoke about previously that I played with from Green Set, she invited me down onto the court. So I was down, I was watching the celebrations. She is super connected, so friends with everybody. So I was in then having chats with some of the players. So I'll put some pictures up now of me with some of the players. So Stupa, LeBron. We then went round to see the winners, and we were having a chat, took a picture with Tapia, Paula on the court then, and then what came, because it was green set courts, so somebody had actually purchased that exact court and was taking it back to their country, and what they requested was the winners sign the glass. So I found myself in this strange situation where I was rounding up players to sign the court, and eventually turned into me filming that happened. So for Ari and Paula, I filmed from behind. Again, a couple of videos I'll post here. But for Kaleo and Tapia, they said like go inside and film from the other side. So I am like face to face with these fantastic paddle players whilst they're signing the glass. So that was a very surreal experience. So yeah, shout out to Green Set. That was an incredible day. And if you've got this far into the video, thank you so much for watching episode 2. Haven't yet mentioned where did I go. My points, so 0.8, 6 love, 6-1. I have jumped now to, drum roll please, we are 1.46. So the levels are rising, 1.46. And for the next video, which should come very soon because it may already be filmed, I am going to go for a different challenge. Still keeping to the 0.5 challenge, but now 1.46. One of the things that you find in Spain on Playtomic is there's a big mix of male and female players. So I have a friend who in January decided to pick up a paddle racket for the first time and have a go, and she has become addicted and hooked and has had some games where she will go as 0 point something player and be hammered by some guys that are smashing on them and kind of overplaying. So we decided to go into a match. So we joined a match together. Me 1.46, Cherie 0.68, and we'll see what happens. 2 guys versus me and a girl on the 0.5 challenge. That video is coming soon. Thank you so much for watching. Please like, subscribe. It was like 99% of people that watched the last video weren't subscribed, so please just give it a click. I said I wasn't going to beg in the last one, but here I am. As I said in the first video, soon I will be humbled by Spanish players. It hasn't happened yet. The French couldn't do it. Can the Spanish do it next time? Let's find out in the next video. And in the meantime, go and check out Moonshot Paddle and check out their range. Thank you.